Hi, friends. Welcome to We Are the BYC. I'm Dawn, the human behind the Instagram account at Baby Yoda SD, inviting you to join us for a delightful journey into the heart of the Baby Yoda community. Picture this podcast as your exclusive invitation to a favorite neighborhood coffee shop where enthusiastic members of the BYC gather to share heartwarming stories and laughter, uncovering the untold tales and vibrant personalities of the humans behind these precious Baby Yodas. Whether you're a longtime member or a newcomer, get ready to join the fun as we embark on an adventure filled with camaraderie, emotion, and a whole lot of Baby Yoda love. Pull up a chair, grab your favorite drink, and let's dive in. Hi, friends. Today's guest is someone who brings such a unique presence to the BYC. Her account blends storytelling, travel, and real life in a very natural way. She's a New Yorker, a writer, a blogger behind Welcome to Buttercup Land, and someone whose BYC journey is really rooted in connection. It's Carol from Buttercup NYC. Hi, Carol!
Hey, Dawn.
Hi!
I decided I'd come on in person because Pep and Leo felt they needed to represent the community here.
Oh, I love it.
And it wasn't fair just to have me. So Pep, and this is Leo, who was my first Baby Yoda.
Oh, I'm glad you brought them. JoJo's usually always here with me too, just to say hi to everybody. So, oh, I'm so happy you're here.
This is going to be fun. I'm very excited.
Me too. I'm always so nervous. I always say that I'm an introverted person, which I generally am. But I just love being able to find out about our community. So it pushes me out of my comfort zone, but it's very rewarding. I like it.
Well, this is our first podcast, so we're very excited. I feel like as a older person to really stepped out into today.
Yeah.
And of course, the kids are just thrilled.
Oh, for sure. This is probably right up their alley.
They're very media savvy.
Ah, my gosh. You know, that's so funny. I always say, like, I feel like I am media savvy or tech savvy, but then something will come around and I'm like, I need a 5-year-old here to help me.
Same.
Oh, I tell you, it surpasses our knowledge so fast. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I guess we'll kind of just jump in, and I wanted to start out with a little heartfelt message. This comes from Dawn Wired Differently. Wolfie here, not a question, but we sending hugs.
I love it. And hugs back to Dawn, Wolfie, and everyone out there in the community.
I like that little bit of just kind of a little hug before everything starts, just to get you feeling good and ready. Okay, can we start like a little bit of getting to know you? Can you tell us like a little bit about where you're from, where you live?
Okay, I grew up in New England. I lived in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire.
Ooh.
I then decided it was time to kind of branch out, and I went to graduate school in Tennessee. And I was not a graduate student. I'm not an academic, but I lived in Tennessee for 3 years. I really loved it.
Oh, wow.
And it was great just to be in a different part of the country.
Yeah.
I moved back to New York, moved back east and to New York in 1975, and I was going to stay for 2 years. And, that was in 1975, and I'm still here.
Oh, wow. So you must love it. What do you love about living there?
When I first moved here, I thought it's too big, it's too dirty, it's too noisy, it's too everything. But the longer I stayed,
right,
the more I came to appreciate that there was just so much here, that I can walk out in the street. I live in a for New York, it's a quiet neighborhood, but I can walk 3 blocks and we have a beautiful community garden that's in the middle of Tulip Festival.
Oh, wow.
I walk 4 blocks, long blocks, but 4 blocks, and I'm in Central Park.
Oh my gosh, perfect.
Yeah, museums, theater, which is pricey, but you know, if I plan it out, theater, lots of interesting movies. I've been very fortunate to make wonderful friends, so it doesn't feel so big. It doesn't feel impersonal.
Yeah. I think when you have a connection, like in the area you live and you have friends, it feels very personable and homey. So that makes a lot of sense.
And I've also become part of a Baby Yoda community in not so much in New York City, but in the general area. A lot of friends in New Jersey. So that's been a lot of fun, and really I shouldn't say enjoyed, because I enjoy it. We have trips planned and all kinds of activities.
You know what, I wanted to ask you about if you had met, and I know that we most of us know this, if you had met any BYC members, if you've gone to meetups.
Yes, and yes. I'm not sure how it kind of started. The first person I met was baby Henry Yoda. And that was my first meetup, and that was great. I've been active in other internet where I'd met people online probably since 2002.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, when my friends in real life thought I was insane. You know, I was going out there and these people would all be axe murderers, and how could I do this? And, well, they weren't axe murderers. And, but it made me realize that I could trust my judgment.
Yeah.
And it's worked out well. And then I started a blog in 2009 and I've met a number of my blog friends literally all over the world.
Oh, gosh.
In Australia and England, they've come to America. So I was very open to the meeting BYC or plushie friends.
Yeah.
Because we are a mixed community here in Buttercup Land with plushies and Baby Yodas. And I don't know who it was, but probably someone who will listen to this, who suggested I join a chat group of people who were getting together in Wildwood, New Jersey. I think it was 3 years ago.
Right, yes.
These were not the people I was closest to in the BYC, but I thought, sure, I'll join the chat group, you know?
Yeah.
And then I decided to go, and it was really wonderful. And met, there were probably 20 community members there from literally all over America. People had come from California, and Cindy came from Nevada, and Yoders, who was like one of my complete idols. And we really, I mean.
He's like a celebrity.
You know, and Jerry is the best. Just love him. Yeah. And it was like, this is really fun. These are not people I would have met otherwise.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I shouldn't have met them. It's just our world. And I realize your world can be so much bigger if you're being open to meeting people that are not part of your immediate circle at home.
Exactly. And, you know, that's, I love that you talked about how you had already, you know, been in line or been involved with online communities, because I think for a lot of us, maybe for a lot of us, the BYC was our first, like, sort of real interactions with people. And so I can totally relate to what you're talking about, how people are like, these are going to be axe murderers and you're crazy for meeting them. But how did it feel like meeting these members, meeting the people in the community in person? Did it feel like you already knew each other?
To some degree, a lot. Like I said, with the Wildwood group, most of the people I'd been in touch with more closely were in Europe.
Yeah.
You know, like my first real BYC friend is Celine, my cute Grogu.
Oh, yeah.
Who is, you know, everyone loves. And I had asked some question in some group, and she proceeded to explain how to do something. And then we started corresponding, and then she came to America. We got to she was in New York. We had just a fabulous time. And then when I was in Paris, she came to Paris.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, there's nothing like meeting up 3,000 miles away with a friend. Because sometimes I say, oh, she's a BYC friend. No, she's a friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
People are friends. They're not, you know, sometimes to the rest of my people I know in person, I'll say, oh, I know them from Baby Yoda, or I say, oh, it's the Baby Yodas.
Yeah.
And initially, some of my friends were a little like, I can't believe you're doing this. But I'm like, I don't really care. This really works for me. I'm just enjoying this. And yeah, my hope is to really get to both France again and Germany.
Oh, yeah.
And meet up with more of the community. I would just love that.
I think you're kind of living the dream that a lot of us have, and being able to travel around and meet people. Oh my gosh, so much, not jealousy, but just so much like wishing we could live that life. That's awesome. That's so fun.
It is the joy of retirement.
Oh yeah. Yes. Well, let's see. So talking about your account, like, and how you even got involved in the community. When did you create your account? But you don't have a separate BYC account, right? Like, this was your own personal.
I had been a blogger for years, so I started an Instagram account probably 2010.
Okay.
And I posted Pep.
Yeah.
And some of the plushies, but mostly it was just about things I did.
Yeah.
You know, just a regular general. If it was a magazine, it would be a general content magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I came to the BYC during COVID, like most of us, and a friend recommended Baby Yoda memes. He said, they're really cute. You'll really like them. So one year, maybe it was 2002, I have a group of friends. We always get together at Hanukkah and we draw names. And I said, I'd like something Baby Yoda. Well, no one knew what I was talking about. And I assumed they'd get me socks, like Baby Yoda socks.
Yeah.
But it was Leo who came from Planet Amazon.
Oh my goodness.
And once I had Leo, since I was used to taking pictures of Pep,
mm-hmm.
and I wasn't, and other plushies, I thought, I just found the community.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Then I found like BY School and my Wildwood friends. And I still like to post other things.
Yeah.
Because I have a pretty wide, some of the travel friends.
Yeah.
I just like to keep a wide, but sometimes I think you should do a separate account. But I know me, I won't post two accounts. I just won't. So why? You know what? If people don't want to see the BYC content, they can scroll past.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's hard. I think it would be too hard to divest and have two different accounts where you've got two different things that are more going on. No.
It's too much.
Yeah. I like the way you've integrated it, because it's just, that's you. This is what you do. I want to talk about Pep a little bit, since you did mention him.
Go for it.
What is Pep's origin story? How long have you had him?
Pep was a gift from colleagues in 1994. So Pep and I share the same birthday.
Oh.
And Pep did not wear clothes at the time. And he basically just sat in my office. I couldn't figure out why they gave me a monkey. To this day, I still can't figure it out, because it wasn't like I had a toy collection in my office. But for some reason, my two friends gave me Pep. And then, I don't know, slowly I bought him bunny ears. I got him a Santa hat. Somebody brought him a sombrero. I found he could wear little T-shirts. And then I realized you could buy clothes at Build-A-Bear.
Oh, yeah. Does he fit those?
Fit Pep.
Oh.
He does. They're a little big because he's not quite that big.
Yeah.
But you could do this. And I didn't like my job at the time. So I said, but I had to keep working for several years.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, if you can hold out, you can buy Pep a new outfit every month. And I didn't do that. But he got a scuba suit. He got a tuxedo. And it really gave me it was a small price to pay. And Pep was so cute. I could dress him up. He has a St. Patrick's Day sweater. He's got 2 Halloween outfits and 3 Christmas outfits. I got a little carried away, but not to anyone in the BYC.
Right.
And so that's the story of Pep. He has his own Facebook page.
Oh, he does?
He does. Because he had friends that were not even my friends. I don't know how these people found Pep. And he has some other plushy monkey friends. So, that's the story of Pep. He's kind of the senior member of the crew. And he's warm, he's welcoming, and he loves to travel.
Yeah. You know what? That I think Grogu Little Green knows that, because she wanted to ask, where was the first place Pep ever went with you?
I thought about that. I think the first place out of New York City, he'd been around the city with me. Yeah. I was never shy about taking him places. I know there's concerns when you take your plushies or Baby Yodas out. Yeah. I never felt it. I just took him out because I thought he'd like it. Yes. I think the first place was Charleston, South Carolina. And I've got some great pictures of Pep down by the Battery and Fort Sumter. And I was with friends who I'd met in the 2002 group who were very open to, you can bring Pep on vacation, sure, Oh, and Pep has been in France. He's been in Iceland.
Oh, my gosh.
Certainly in other places in the country. But he's been in Canada. He loves it. He's had a great time.
Oh, I love that. They're great companions, just to kind of share an experience with and help log, your events or adventures. How did you start including him, like, in posts? Like, were you posting him way back then?
Well, he had his page. So we're talking about 2000. And I put him on my blog from time to time. I do a Monkey Monday post. He's not constant, but enough. Just so he had a presence. People liked him. Yeah. So I thought I could keep doing this. He loves, we always do a Christmas post. I don't do as much on Facebook with him now because he's on Instagram constantly. But he makes friends. He just makes friends. And he's been very welcoming to all the Baby Yodas. Oh. And I swore I would never have more than one.
They multiply somehow. It's like beyond us.
They're gifts. I appreciate it. Yeah. When I got Raphael, I was visiting with friends in Oklahoma City, who I also had met in another online group. And we were in TJ Maxx. And my friend Melissa said, Carol, there's a Baby Yoda sitting alone on a shelf. Yep. And she said, you have to take him home. I said, Melissa, I'm living in a toy store. She said, Carol, you can't leave him on a shelf. I said, you're right. So that's how Raphael came to be with us.
Oh, gosh. So many babies, that's happened, I think. Like, you just see them by themselves, and it pulls at your heartstrings. You cannot leave them.
I can't leave them. So here we are.
That's awesome. That's perfect. Have you always been a writer?
Yes. A lot of my career was corporate communications.
Oh, wow.
So, but when you do corporate communications for a big state agency, you never write anything alone, and 1,000 people edit everything you write. So when I started the blog, I thought I can just write whatever I want.
Yeah.
No one will edit me. No one will say my tone is off. No one will correct my grammar. And it was really wonderful.
Liberating, probably.
Very much so.
How long have you had your blog? Or when did you start that?
I think it was the winter of 2009. Oh, and I thought, this will last for 2 months. I'm going to lose interest. But I liked it. When I look back on those first 6 months, the pictures are really, because I had this little old camera. Yeah. It was before there were really decent cell phone cameras. I didn't know how to format. It was really pretty simple. Mm-hmm. And there was probably the first month I got one comment. But once you kind of get a comment, not unlike Instagram, I always say it all starts with a comment.
Yeah.
Someone says hello. Someone said, I like what you did. Someone says, Pep is cute. You write back. They write back. And before you know it, you're visiting them in Australia. What can I tell you?
That is really awesome. That's the thing about these online communities, that you can really reach people like that you wouldn't have thought possible, or you wouldn't have even considered. Like, why would you think about meeting somebody in Australia?
How will I know these? I mean, friends in England I've spent a lot of time with, and if someone said you're going to spend time with these friends who live in a small village in Wiltshire in England, I'm like, I don't know where Wiltshire is. But I have, and they've really become truly dear friends.
Gosh, I love that. That is really awesome. I think that's what the internet's for, not all this other BS that happens, but just making connections. Your blog, it's more like you said, just kind of a general content. Like what kind of things, like what inspires your blog posts each time you write one?
I found that people are really interested in life in New York City.
Yeah.
And don't necessarily have a sense of what it is to actually live here.
Yes.
So if I write about, I just did a post on Grand Central Station and how people do weddings at Grand Central.
Oh.
So, and people are like, yeah, I never thought about it. Or I do a lot of either travel stuff when I'm away, because people enjoy that too. And I've done a number of series on coffee drinking, because I'm a big coffee drinker.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun, and people still make suggestions. Oh, I found this new coffee place. You should try it.
Oh, gosh.
I may do another coffee series in the fall.
Yeah. Do you have like a go-to spot, like your favorite coffee place?
There's just a local bagel place that is nothing fancy. It's about 2 blocks from here. And I actually stopped there today after my exercise class. And it's not fancy. But they have really good iced coffee.
Oh, nice.
And it was like, oh, this is really good. It reminded me, and I think sometimes the coffee you buy at the carts in New York are really excellent and not expensive.
Yeah.
And I have my favorite carts around the places I go.
I think that's what I've always seen about New York is just like the various food carts that you can just go up to anywhere.
Absolutely.
Well, speaking of that.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
The hot dog question.
Aussie Grogu wants to know, is it true the best hot dog is from New York City?
I think the Hebrew National Dog, or that you can get at Nathan's Coney Island.
Oh,
I can't really say the best because I don't eat a lot of hot dogs, to be honest. I really reflected on this question, and I brought my friend Mary, and I said, Mary, let's discuss hot dogs. And she kind of looked at me like, why are we discussing hot dogs? I said, but one of our viewers, listeners, wants to discuss hot dogs. So I would say the Coney Island dog is the dog.
Okay. The Coney Island. I like Nathan's. Whenever I buy hot dogs, like just to make it home, I always get the Nathan's or the Hebrew Nationals. Yeah, those are just the best, I feel like.
I think they're the best. I have not tried all the hot dogs.
You're not a connoisseur.
That would be my choice. I'm not. I can't really speak to the best hot dog. But from my experience, that is the best hot dog.
Okay. Makes sense. It gives us something to think about if we're ever going to go in that area. Okay, here's another question about New York from Who Ate Our Snacky Snacks. What's your favorite thing about New York and that you think would surprise others to learn?
I think my favorite thing is that I think it's easier to live here than be a visitor here.
Really?
You know how people say, it's a great place to visit, I wouldn't want to live here? The flip.
Wow.
I think it's a great place to visit too. And when I was growing up in Connecticut, I'd come here a lot with my parents.
Yeah.
But I think living here, you can be out in all the sort of hustle and bustle. And then I come home to my really quiet apartment.
Oh, yeah, true.
And I love that.
Yes. Well, I can imagine that would be, because if you're visiting, let's say you have a week in New York, it's just go, 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 go. Constant, nonstop. You don't have time to unwind and just chill out, relax. But yeah, that makes sense. If you're living there, you can just do all the things in your spare time or whenever you have a moment.
Yeah.
What do people like? Have you ever had somebody say, "Oh, I've heard this or this or this about New York," and yada yada?
People say so many things that I believe they do not know what they're talking about.
Yeah. They've
never been to New York. They're watching television.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to go any further than that. And, it's sort of like New York is a hellhole. And I was at the community garden today where the donation bin is sitting there in plain sight, just sitting there where people leave cash donations.
Oh my
there
gosh.
Were groups of school. I realize this is not every corner of New York or any big city.
Yeah.
Or any big city. There are school groups there. There were older people just hanging out because the tulips are stunning, and I'll send you a picture. I took a bunch of pictures today, and I'm like, this is not. I walked in the park in a local park that's on the Hudson River. Baby carriages, people on bikes, people walking dogs. I take the subway almost every day, somewhere. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just faster.
Yeah.
And people are like, I can't believe you're taking the subway. Yes, I'm taking the subway. Am I taking it everywhere? Am I taking it at midnight? No, and I tend to be more careful than some people I know. But I'm like, yeah, I take the subway. And I think in any big city, anywhere, you got to be careful of your surroundings.
Yeah. Just be aware of where you're at, who's around you.
Look around. Just be prudent.
Yes.
But New York gets, I think, some terrible press sometimes that isn't, and there are incidents that happen, but there are incidents, God forbid, that happen anywhere.
Yes. Yeah.
Sadly, tragically.
Yes. You can say that about even a small town in, I don't know, Idaho or something.
Arkansas.
So, yeah. Oh gosh. I've never been to New York myself. I've always wanted to go. But I do hear like, oh, it's so noisy, it's so dirty, people are rude.
I could prove to you that is not true. When you come to New York, I will prove to you, especially when I'm in the neighborhood, I cannot recount the number of times like you see someone fall and people run right over to help you.
Oh gosh.
No one leaves you alone on the sidewalk. I fell in the snow. The last time I fell publicly in the snow in the neighborhood, and it was foolish of me because it was really deep snow and I shouldn't have tried to cross the street there and whatever. And some guy pulled me up, you know.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I mean, and it wasn't anything special. It wasn't like this is some big deal. This is what people do. We're really pretty nice.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think people need to give it more of a chance than what they are seeing on TV or movies. What is your kind of like day-to-day life look like? You mentioned you ride the subway almost every day. Are you, I mean, probably for your blog, right?
I do the blog. I try to post on Instagram, and so I'm out taking a lot of photographs. So I have material to post. I have a regular Weight Watchers group I go to every Friday where I've made a lot of friends in retirement.
Oh, fun.
I take Pilates class on Thursday. I just started a new exercise class in the neighborhood today, which is kind of a mix of strength training and stretching and balance, which I really loved. And that's sort of the structure.
Yeah.
And then I kind of fill it in.
You're just kind of going with the flow, like whatever happens.
I'm very fortunate. 2 of my closest friends from college live on the same street.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah. So I try to see them at least once a week and really keep up. And that's been a wonderful experience to have such close friends right nearby that I've known for over 50 years.
Oh, wow.
The other 2 things I do, I'm very active in 2 of my college classes. So I do social media for one of them. Oh. As we get closer to reunions and programs, that's a lot more posting. Yeah. And for both classes, our 55th reunions are next year. And I can kind of see the activity building up, which is great. I've made a lot of friends. One of my college friends said, you can make new college friends. And I said, how do you do that? She said, you get active. It's not unlike anything else. You go to things, you push yourself a little because you don't always know the people. Yeah. But people have been lovely, and I've made new college friends at 60 years old and 70 years old.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's been great.
Ah, that does sound really fun. So do you feel like you're more of an extrovert, like more of an outgoing kind of personality?
I was an extremely shy child.
Really?
You know, the kind of kid who hid her face in her mother's skirt kind of kid.
Yeah.
Very shy. And my mother, who is pretty shy herself, said, I really don't want you to kind of have that kind of life where you're always scared to join in groups. And she pushed me. And other people say, oh, you shouldn't. And I wouldn't say I overcame it, because there's still moments you walk into a room and you don't know anybody, and it's scary.
Yeah.
But I kind of overcame it. I had a job ultimately where I ran a community relations unit, and I just would walk into circumstances and have to present and meet people. And there were some meetings that were really scary because I was presenting things that people didn't want to hear.
Oh, gosh.
But I used to say nobody ever died of a bad phone call or a bad meeting.
True.
And that may not be true, but that was what, it's a bad phone call. It's going to be unpleasant, and you could do this.
Yeah.
So I lost a lot of shyness, and I like being able to be welcoming to people who may not be as comfortable.
Yeah. That's the thing I like too. That's one thing I feel like with this podcast is that everybody is so nervous to come on. Well, almost everybody. But I just I love to try to calm them, make them feel it's going to be fine. It's safe. We're in a safe spot. Everything's going to sound good. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, we're talking about Baby Yodas and plushies.
Yeah.
This is not a hostile room. There's no metal detector at the BYC.
Exactly. So, I have a question here from my cute Grogu.
My wonderful friend Celine.
Yes. How many members are there in the Buttercup clan?
I would say, I didn't count, and I should have probably counted. I'd say there's about 20. Maybe 20. Good. Yeah, about 20, and there's a big teddy bear contingent.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, because they will be going to Milo's birthday party over the weekend.
Oh, perfect.
They're pretty excited.
Does everybody kind of have their own personality? Are they all individuals? Yeah.
They all have names. They have personalities. They have relationships. Some are closer to others.
Yeah.
For example, Nessie, who came home from Inverness with us in 2009, is married to the Easter Bunny. And they got married during the pandemic when I had a lot of time on my hands.
I think there was a lot of marriages and sort of romantic things happening during that pandemic. That's so funny. Do you have any favorites, or does it just kind of depend on what you're doing that day? Or?
Well, Pep is always in some ways number one.
Yeah.
But I really, sometimes I think you should feature, and people have said to me, sometimes they say you're not featuring Pep enough, or all we see is Pep. Literally, my friends say this.
Oh, gosh.
How come I'm not seeing Pep anymore, and it's only the Baby Yodas? So I like to try to, and I've really been trying to feature some of the Shire members. We had Patrick, who had never appeared, came out for St. Patrick's Day. Nessie's a frequent, Nessie and Minnie, because they're little and I can take them places.
Yeah.
But I really, no, I don't have, Pep is a favorite, I gotta be honest. Leo, don't listen to this. But
he's just the oldest. He's been there.
He's the senior member. But he's not going to go on every trip.
Oh, really?
We really had to no, he cannot go on every trip. It's not fair to the others.
Oh, true. That's hard. That is so hard. I have that issue myself. When we go to meetups, who am I bringing?
Who's coming? Who's going to be the ones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's very difficult. We're doing a meetup in New Jersey in 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Tulips and dinos. We cannot wait. And I think it's going to be a big tote bag because I hate to leave Leo and Raphael behind, and they're excited to go.
Yeah. I know. I usually try to let them decide amongst themselves, okay, you went last time, you want to let somebody else go? But yeah, it's always a hard decision.
That's a very difficult one. There's always hurt feelings.
Yeah, yes. So you do travel a lot, obviously. Was that always part of your life? Have you always been a traveler?
Yes. I mean, not as a kid.
Yeah.
Though we took driving vacations, so that was great. But once I was able on my own to start really traveling, I did.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate. I had a friend who was equally up there for all kinds of adventures.
Oh, perfect.
And we took some really fabulous trips. And I've continued to try to take I don't have a bucket list because I really feel like I don't want to think about what am I going to do before I die, but really rather what will I do as I'm living?
Right.
And some of the time is really, I want to see friends.
Yeah.
It's not so much I have to see every country in the world, though I do want to see every state in America. I'm kind of big on that.
Oh, yeah.
But I've got 4 left.
Really?
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty good.
But, I always like to have a trip ahead because I like, even if it's a year ahead, I want to have something to look forward to.
Like anything specific other than, getting to every 50 state, but like what draws you to a destination? Like if you're going overseas, friends, right? I mean, you just kind of said that.
Friends, actually it's more my heart calls me.
Okay.
I'm gonna, I love Paris and I've been probably 10 times.
Oh, fun.
So there's always I'm always wishing for another trip to Paris, and I want to tack on a visit to Alsace and see Celine and some of the other French and or German Baby Yoda friends, because that would be something we could do. And I've been to Alsace, but never, I think the Christmas markets in Strasbourg could be really spectacular. So that's in my head. I'd love to be back in Italy because I love Italy, and there are some Baby Yoda friends I'd like to see.
Yes.
I'm hoping to get to Berlin, and now that things in Budapest, thank you, Hungary. I'm hoping to get a trip into Budapest as well as Berlin.
Oh my gosh. I just want to live your life. Like I just want to travel and just do all these things.
There were years of 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. in the office and eating lunch at my desk, but it was worth it. And I did.
Yeah.
I sometimes really liked my job and sometimes I really didn't. So, but I really want to make the most of these years. I didn't want to say I sat in an armchair and watched television the whole time.
Yes. Right? Exactly. I think that's just awful. And to think that so many people do exactly that. Like they just retire
from the world.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing to the life. And yeah, I think this is the perfect thing you're doing. That's awesome. A question from Who Ate Our Snacky Snacks. As someone who's traveled a lot, what's a special experience that stands out to you?
This is another one I really thought about. Last year, I was in Africa, Southern Africa, last May with one of my college friends. We sort of called it our 75th birthday trip. And I have to say, I expected to be really, moved, excited, but seeing Victoria Falls with double rainbows, I don't think I'm ever going to see anything like it again. I hadn't before that. It was just extraordinary.
Oh my gosh. How awesome.
It was beyond belief. And then, of course, seeing elephants and giraffes and baboons and all kinds of wildlife there.
Yeah.
I'm also a huge orangutan fan. And I've seen orangutans in the wild in Borneo, which was a great experience.
That's exactly what I would love to do. Just go to see the natural wildlife, just the nature of a place. Of course, going to see tourist attractions is exciting too, but just Victoria Falls, just seeing the animals. We were in Namibia and we saw the 40-foot red sand dunes. Oh my gosh.
It was just extraordinary. I feel very privileged to be able to do this.
What an exciting, you know what, have you ever written a book? You should write a book, like just of all your travels and, oh my gosh.
A lot of it's on the blog. I really do enjoy it. And I love taking the pictures, and it was a trip that so far exceeded any of my expectations. It was really wonderful.
Would you ever go back? Do you think you would ever have a opportunity or need to?
Well, they're long flights.
Oh, right.
I'm hoping at some point, if I do another long flight trip, which those are tough. They're tougher, and flying these days is tougher. I'd like to be in southern India. It's kind of the trip I'd like to take. I've been to northern India, Jaipur, Agra, Delhi, but I'd like to go to, don't ask me why, but like I said, my heart leads me.
Yeah.
You know, and just.
Well, it would be a different experience than what you've already had.
Totally.
So why not? Oh my gosh. Okay, here's a good question from Aussie Grogu, another food question. Where is the best food you've ever tasted?
Paris.
Oh, really? What made it so memorable or so amazing?
The first, I'd been in Paris a couple of times before I really ate in the 4-star French restaurants, 3-star French restaurants, and I have to say I was just blown away. It's not an experience I'd had before, and the food was just so beautifully served and just tasted so good. I can probably remember most of those restaurants even 40 years later.
Oh, wow.
It was just really extraordinary.
Yeah, so it was the whole experience, not just the food, but like just the setting and everything.
The setting, we were at a restaurant that was founded, my friend had found this in like 1790 something, and we were sitting, all the chairs had different plates for famous French writers, politicians who had sat in this restaurant, and we were sitting in the booth that was marked Colette, the writer who wrote this Vichy novel, and I was like, it doesn't get better than this. And it does. There are times, sometimes just eating something really simple somewhere in a great location is a great meal.
It's just the whole experience, just all tied in. Oh man, it's like just magical.
It was.
I think one of the special things about the BYC in general is just those connections. They move beyond, being online friends. And something that really stood out to me was you mentioned that you found a Bolivian restaurant in New York City through Bolivian friends.
Yes. I'm not sure how exactly it happened, but our dear friends Colito and Papo in Bolivia, and I think they wrote to me and said there's this Bolivian restaurant in New York you should try. Or I said I liked something she posted. I'm not, how you're never exactly sure.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and it was, a couple of subways away, but not impossible. I took my friend Jane, who is my Harry's godmother, my baby Yoda Harry's godmother. Jane always feels Harry doesn't get enough attention. But we took Leo. I think we just took Leo, and he was wearing a llama t-shirt.
Oh, perfect.
He has a llama party t-shirt. And we went to the Bolivian llama party, and we had salteñas. And they liked him so much in his llama t-shirt, he got an ice cream.
Oh.
He was very popular. And we had a wonderful time. And it's on my list to go back again this summer, because we met some people there who said they have the best fried chicken in New York.
Oh, wow.
But Pep, of course, wants to come too. He feels very left out by this.
Yeah, I can imagine anytime there's like some good food like involved, people or babies are going to be like, hey, what about me?
But when I explained to the people at the restaurant, though, how I'd found them, I said, friends of mine in Bolivia told me about your restaurant. They were incredulous. I mean, it's like, but yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. Had you had that kind of food before?
I didn't know there was Bolivian. There's everything in New York City. I shouldn't say it, but I just never. So really, it's a small restaurant. I'm sorry, because they deserve much more attention because the food was delicious.
Gosh.
And I'm sure if I looked up every cuisine, especially in Queens, there are restaurants from everywhere.
Wow, yeah.
I don't know if people realize it, but both Brooklyn and Queens alone each have 3.5 million people.
Oh my gosh, that's as big as San Diego.
It's as big as most American cities,
wow.
Each one. So you can find and a lot of immigrants and a lot of people have brought just so much to those both areas. Manhattan only has 1 billion people.
Oh.
So which is still pretty big, but Yeah, so you could find anything, and sometimes you get kind of set in your ways.
Yeah.
You know, you think, oh, I know, there's wonderful Greek food and pretty close to where we got the Bolivian food. Yeah. And I usually, when someone says, let's go to Queens, I'm like, oh, let's go to Astoria. I want to eat Greek food.
That's cool.
We did take Pep to a Greek restaurant last year. He had a good time. I know. When I think about it, they really do get to go out a lot.
Yeah, these babies have really good lives. We haven't really talked about Star Wars.
I like Star Wars. I like it. I'm not especially well versed in it.
Yeah.
And I could not, I know people who are much more. Pep has a lightsaber.
Oh, he does.
Yes, he does. He likes it a lot. And I love seeing the movie. I've seen probably 4 or 5 of them in different times, but I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, and I just have to admit it.
Yeah. No, and that's totally fine. So, I guess that answers the question from who ate our snacky snacks. Aurora gave us a lot of good questions here. She says, are you into all things Star Wars or just Grogu? And obviously it's not a Star Wars obsession or anything.
No, it really was. I just thought he was the cutest. I mean, when they did the thing at the Academy Awards where he was sitting next to Kate Hudson.
Yes.
I mean, people got in touch with me to say, turn on the Academy Awards. Baby Yoda's in the audience. I was pretty excited.
And that is exactly why we're here. It's like that live baby is what all of these guys are to us. Have you watched any of The Mandalorian at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Not everything, but I don't get that streaming channel.
Yeah.
And I really got a little carried away during COVID. And I had to cancel probably 2 or 3 streaming because I can't watch that much.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be sitting in front of a screen.
Yeah.
Occasionally I want to read a book.
Yeah.
And but I go to YouTube and watched a number of episodes.
Okay. Yeah. Had you seen the show or the baby before you ended up, because you said your friends kind of put you onto the Baby Yoda memes. Had you already been watching some of the stuff?
I said, what is this? No. He was like, oh, you'd really like Baby Yoda. I'm like, what's Baby Yoda? I mean, I know what Yoda is. Yeah. But what's Baby Yoda? And I never dreamt that Baby Yoda would be so incredibly adorable.
That's so crazy. It's just amazing how it all came to be, and here we all are. I know, it's awesome. Speaking of wanting to read books from time to time, not being on a watching TV as much. Another question from who ate our snacky snacks. This is hard. I don't know how she comes up with these. What are your top 3 favorite books of all time?
Okay. And in no order, I loved Little Women.
Oh, yes.
I've read it probably easily a dozen times. With my parents, when I was in high school, we went to visit the Alcott's home in Massachusetts.
Oh, cool.
Which still stands out. It was really wonderful. There were drawings that were the equivalent of what Amy's drawings.
Oh, yes.
And so Little Women, in a more serious note, I was really taken with Anna Karenina, which we read for summer reading in high school. I've never reread it, but I also took a class in college in Russian literature of the 19th century, and there were some really wonderful books there.
Yeah.
I wish I was still reading that seriously, which I am not, but that said, and I'm really probably the 3rd book that I've read actually fairly recently and reread again and again is Olive Kitteridge, which is probably sitting on a shelf right by me. And of course, I cannot remember the author's name, which is so embarrassing. But I just thought it was wonderful, moving.
Let me
and I can't remember her last name. But it's a series of interlocking short stories, which looks at a woman who's lives in the coast of Maine in her life.
Oh.
And a friend recommended it, who didn't say that it would be incredibly moving and touching and sad, but it was, but also incredibly meaningful. And the author has several books since that continue Olive's story.
Oh, wow. Okay, Elizabeth Strout.
So if anyone's looking for, I think, some really good novels, modern, I think they're well worth reading.
Yeah, the names Olive Kitteridge sounded familiar to me, and now I see it here. There's a 4-part HBO miniseries.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, about, I can't remember, I think it was Frances McDormand.
Yeah.
Who I once saw on the subway.
Really? Oh my God, cool.
Wearing no makeup, looking just like Frances McDormand, except she just looks like any other woman riding the subway. It was wild. I was with a friend. She said, look. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Frances McDormand right on the subway.
That's cool. Do you see many celebrities like that?
From time to time, yeah. I once ran into Mandy Patinkin in the seltzer aisle at the grocery store.
Oh,
he lives in the neighborhood. And Sean Hayes from Grace and Will.
Yes.
We were both buying yogurt at the same place in the neighborhood. Sometimes so cool. I introduce myself, and sometimes I just let people be.
Yeah.
They don't really need me. So I might say, oh, gee, I really enjoy your work.
Yeah.
But, it's their day off. They're buying yogurt. Let them be.
Yeah. I think that's the perfect way to be just to be friendly. Just say, yeah, I really like your work. That's it. You're not asking for them to autograph stuff.
Autograph the yogurt or anything? No.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of celebrities, you met Dr. Pimple Popper.
I did. She couldn't have been nicer. I have been watching the series for years.
Yeah.
And I got invited to this probably through the blog.
Oh, cool.
Some list. And I got invited to an event they were doing on eczema. And she was so nice.
Oh.
She said, oh, no, we have to take pictures together. She was lovely.
Oh. That's what I was going to ask, is what was she like in person? Because she seems very friendly.
Lovely. As warm and genuine as she appears on TV.
Oh, wow. Oh, good.
Yeah, she was great.
That's really cool. Yeah, I love her show. I didn't want to start watching it because I get grossed out. Even though I'm a nurse, I get grossed out at some stuff. But her show, or the show that she had, I don't know if it's still on. It fascinated me. I was addicted.
At first I was sort of put off.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's popping, whatever.
Yes.
And then it was more about medical issues, and I found her explanations really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she's a really good doctor. She's good at what she does, and at least she makes people on the show look like she's making them feel comfortable. So I figured she's got to have a really nice personality.
Couldn't have been nicer. Could not have been nicer.
That's so exciting. How fun. So you do you get invited to places just as a blogger?
Yeah, some. Not a lot, but I've always taken advantage when something comes up and I can do it, because I figure it's just an incredible opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. That's a really awesome thing. I did take a quick look at your blog because I hadn't, I admit I hadn't looked at it before, but you've got a really cool, just broad general, it's a blog, right? It's not just a curated set of things that you're talking about daily. It's pretty interesting. I liked perusing what I saw there.
Good. Welcome to Buttercup Land.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad you said that, because I forgot to write it down. Who is Buttercup?
Buttercup is my alter ego.
Mm.
In 2008, when the world economy was crashing, I was a somewhat middle-level manager at a state agency. And I had always prided myself. I had an open door. I wanted to be a good manager. Mm. I didn't want to be one of those bosses that people walk in and they go, what do you want?
Yeah.
I wanted to be a better person. This was my life.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be a decent person. I had really great staff. And I found I became one of those people who said, what do you want? The agency was in bad shape. We were laying people off. Everyone was in bad shape. It was a pretty terrible time financially for the world. And I said, you can't do this. This is not the person. So I thought, what would be, and one of the women in the office, I used to sort of laugh. She was pretty cranky. I go, what's up, Buttercup? A little sarcastically. So I thought, Buttercup, I'd like to be, I'm going to be more upbeat. I'm going to work at it. I'm not going to be political. This is not a place where people are going to come to fight. I want a blog. Again, like I said, I thought it would last 2 months, that someone can come there and feel better when they've left. And that's how I became Buttercup. And then I took some online class about social media, probably, 2010, 2011, and said, all of your names should be consistent across. So I either changed my name or whatever on Instagram. And I just said, okay, I'm Buttercup. And I didn't realize, but people would begin, this was still fairly early on, to have an online persona. And if I'd really thought about it, I'm just glad I jumped in and didn't think it out. Because I would have said, Buttercup, it's to this, no, just jump in. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Like those early posts are pretty, but that's how I developed who I was.
Yeah.
I went to a first blog meetup, again, with people I'd never met, some of whom are still friends. I'm still in touch with. Most of my early friends have stopped blogging. It's a lot.
Yeah, it becomes like a job almost.
And I'm glad to have it because it gives me structure. But I wouldn't trade the people I've met or the experiences. And it's really developed computer skills.
Yeah.
I had to learn to do stuff.
Yeah.
I couldn't say, I can't do that, or that's too hard. Well, ask someone. Someone will explain it.
Yeah, and I think it keeps our brains sharp the more we can keep
Absolutely.
involved in
Absolutely.
Technological advances. Yeah.
That's how I met My Cute Grogu. Something came up and I didn't know how to do it. And I was in one of the chat groups and I wrote, I'm really not sure how to do this. Can someone help me? And she volunteered, and that's how we became friends.
I love that. I swear there's so many different personalities and people involved in this community, and I am so grateful to every one of them. Just, I would have never met any of these people if it wasn't for our community here. And it's just, they
never
enrich our lives and make things, I don't know even how to say it, but it just has been really a blessing, I think.
They have widened my world between the blog friends and the other people I've met in different other social media groups. I have a nice life otherwise, but I can't imagine if I hadn't stepped out and said, I'm going to have a wider world.
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm actually, the next trip is England, Ireland, and Scotland. And I reached out to a plushie friend and said, can we get together? And the worst thing someone's going to say is, no, it won't work for me. That's the worst. They'll say no. They're not going to say, this is a terrible idea. But she was like, oh, I'd love to. So we're going to meet. And then I'm hoping to meet with Teeny when I'm in Edinburgh, because how can I go to Edinburgh and not meet with Teeny? But
exactly.
We haven't, nothing set, and I understand people can be busy or the time, but that's sort of what I'd like to do, because I've had wonderful experiences meeting my blog friends.
Yeah.
In their home cities.
Oh man. And I think Teeny, although I've wanted to ask if Teeny is getting tired of being a tour guide, because I swear they're the best tour guide. They go to, the National Museum, they go to all these beautiful places in Edinburgh. And I don't know, I can't imagine getting tired of it myself, but who knows?
Well, I figure if nothing else, I hope we can just have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't expect a lot of touring, but just a cup of tea because I would hate to not meet her.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're going all that way. Let's see. I wanted to just quickly mention this one from Grogstergram from King Chip.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it says, King Chip here. I bloomin' love purple. What's your favorite color?
Well, my favorite is really pink, but I also love purple. And one of my other social media names is Purple Sneakers. Because I used to have purple sneakers. So, yes, I love purple too.
Oh.
And I was so hoping I could see King Chip when I was in England, but we're not even going to be close.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, I reached out and we're hours away.
Oh.
But I hoped, because you think, maybe I can do this, maybe I can work this in, and I'd like to meet everybody.
Yes.
But you can't meet everybody all the time.
Well, that just means you have to go back. There's got to be more trips and opportunities.
I would certainly love that.
Yeah. So if someone new found the BYC today, if I guess maybe a new member, when we've had actually new members showing up, which I'm always so excited to see because I feel like there's, we've been here for so long that it's just this group of people and there's not going to be anybody else. But every day we have new members coming in. So
I got a friend request from someone in Thailand.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I was so excited. I was like, this is wonderful. A new friend. Somewhere new.
Yeah.
I was thrilled.
And now you can go to Thailand and meet them.
I would love to.
What would you want them to understand about this community if just a new account?
Please jump in. Don't think because someone has, 10,000 followers, and don't be shy.
Yeah.
Just jump in, share what's in your life, what's on your heart. I like to also share, and I'm just going to put this in.
Yeah.
Endangered species are really important to me. You'll see a lot of times in my stories, I'm sharing stuff about orangutans or we have an adopted orangutan in Borneo. So I like to really use the platform for some good.
Yes.
And I also, especially with the plushie friends, we have a number of plushie friends in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to forget them.
Yeah.
So if I can use the platform, not for every cause in the world, but really for things that are really, I find meaningful, I'm there.
Yeah. No, and I think it's a perfect opportunity to shed light on some things that, people wouldn't think of or are maybe getting pushed to the back burner. It's like, no, we need to keep this in the forefront. So it's awesome. It's a good cause. I'm glad you do that.
These are people I never would have known who have become friends.
Oh, it makes my heart so happy. See, this is what the podcast is for, is just to see how much this community, and not just the BYC, obviously, it's your blog community and the plushie community in general. It's just really brought people together in such a good way.
Well, I never knew there was really a plushie community.
Yeah,
until probably once I started posting. No, we had a couple of friends that were plushies, but it was probably the last 4 or 5 years where I've really met a lot more people, and we've made some wonderful friends. Pep's Snoopy pajamas are for some friends we met in the plushie community in New Hampshire.
Oh,
and we were their first meetup.
Oh, how sweet.
So it was great. We had a wonderful time.
I tell ya, I think the babies, the plushies, just any of these little characters that we have, I think it's a good way for us to, especially people who are more shy or withdrawn. It's not a wall, not a, I don't know what the word I would want to say is, but it's a way to get into being involved with people. But you have it's not me, it's the baby, right? So I'm safe because I'm behind this little persona. But then once you get involved, you can kind of come out and be like, oh, this is me, and we are friends. It's not just these babies.
They open doors.
Yeah,
They open doors that we might not have the opportunity to open.
Yes.
Or the ability to open. But as I always say, it starts with a comment. You see something, especially it starts with a nice comment. But I've never gotten an unkind comment in the BYC or plushie community.
Oh, good.
Never.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's been issues, I think, with, you know, people who like to troll and make fun of people who have plushies, but they're kind of far and few between. But they don't really matter.
That's why there's the block function.
Exactly. Yep. Well, Carol, have we covered? Is there anything else like that we didn't talk about that you wanted to mention?
I think we pretty much gone through the questions because I did read them too.
Yeah.
This has been a lot of fun.
Good.
I've really enjoyed this. I feel like I've made I don't feel like I've made a new friend.
Yes.
Pep and Leo have been thrilled to be here. It's just been it's another great BYC experience.
Oh, I'm glad you think so. I hope that people who listen who are, you know, on the fence about whether or not they want to come on, I hope they get inspired too, because it's not just about, I don't know, talking about themselves or talking to me. It's kind of just sharing their experience with the community, you know, and how the community has inspired them or enriched their life. So I think
if someone's shy, it's really having a conversation with a BYC friend.
Yeah.
It's because I was thinking, I won't turn on the camera. This is no different than being at a meetup and talking about the things that have mattered through your BYC experience.
Yeah. And for me personally, having been to like the bigger meetups, those are always intimidating to me because there's so many people and I just want to kind of hide in a corner. But this is just a one-on-one. This is just, you know, you and I, we're just meeting each other and talking about our babies and what we love. So it seems easy.
It is easy. Yeah. It was easy. I hope it was easy for you too, because it was just really fun for me and the kids had a fabulous time.
Good. Yeah, it was actually. I love talking to you, Carol. It was
fun.
Lovely conversation. I love how your story just really shows how the community can go beyond posting and just become something real, something connective for all of us.
Really given me some wonderful friends, and I'm so grateful. I can't even say.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to look for the pictures of the meetup in a couple weeks in New Jersey.
Yes. Well, next week, Sharon, Sweet Pea Mama Lorian, and I are going to the book fair at the Javits Center, and then not even in 10 days, a small group of us will be with dinos and tulips. So there's a lot going on, and I don't have any big meetup planned, but I'm sure there'll be one before the year's over.
For sure. Yep. Especially in your neck of the woods, there's a lot of people who are probably ready to meet up again. All right, Carol. Well, thank you so much for being here. And
you're very welcome. I've had a great time.
Good. I'm very glad. I'll see you around
I'll see you in the
community.
In the comments, in the posts.
Yeah.
We'll meet again.
Yes, indeed. All right, friend.
Take care. Be well.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You know, after every interview, I inevitably think of questions I should have asked. And I literally cannot believe I didn't ask her about the 4 states she hasn't been to during the interview. So if anyone is wondering, they are North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, and Nebraska. Thank you, Carol, for such a lovely look into your offline life, and thanks to everyone who submitted questions. I wasn't joking when I said I want to live her life. I genuinely aspire to be Carol someday. Okay, bye for now.